Hey y'all, when the night has come, and the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see, no, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you'll pod with me. Let's get the conversation started. Hello and welcome to LexiCon. It is Maddie.
Lexi.
Dylan.
And today we're going to be watching what was my favorite movie as a child, 1986's Stand By Me. Released in theaters 35 years ago as of the day this podcast goes up, August 22nd.
Nice.
Which was also my father's birthday, and I'm sure he was fond enough of this movie, I would say, but since the movie depicts a time that he was actually growing up, I feel like it's also appropriate from that angle as well.
Nice.
I don't have too much to say before we get started. We got an hour and a half of movie ahead of us. I'll save most of it for that. I do have one thing I want to address before we get too much into it, though. There's a little bit of language in here that's not particularly nice. I'm not talking about the swearing. I have no issues with that, but there are some times when the bullies will take to degrading the main boys by calling them girls or using, slurs for gay men, and even the main boys will talk like that amongst themselves in a more good-natured way. But I know nowadays if you made a movie, you're probably not going to put that kind of stuff in there unless you wanted to pick somebody as a real bad guy, but the truth is, in the time this movie depicts, and even the time this movie was made in the 80s, that was not uncommon for young men to talk like that amongst themselves, and it was, to a degree, accepted.
Yes. I wasn't that, but... So
I feel like it does lend to the accuracy of the piece, and that's not to say that if you were to make a movie about either one of those time periods now, you would have to include that language for it to be authentic. But I think for projects that do, I don't think there's any need to go back and try to sanitize them or erase that from them or act like, oh, they shouldn't exist because they have some of that language in them. I think there's a difference between celebrating something and just acknowledging the fact that it exists, and I think, this movie leans toward the latter. That's just my opinion, of course, and opinions vary, but I just wanted to address that really quickly, because I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it during the movie. There's so much else I want to get to while we're getting into it, so... Obviously, I'm glad you guys have come in a time where people don't feel like it's okay to talk that way, but it doesn't change the fact that people did think that way at one time, and, I don't think you should just completely erase the fact that that was the truth. Again, you're not celebrating it, but...
If we erase it, we won't learn from it.
Exactly. So at the worst, it's an opportunity to have a conversation about why people ever thought it was okay to talk that way in the first place and to move on and be better.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so having said that, if you're watching along with us, and we hope that you are, but hopefully we'll provide enough entertainment even if you're not, we have our movie zeroed out, all zeros. We've got it up on Prime Video. It's not really available on a lot of streaming services, I've noticed, but you may have your own digital copy of it or a DVD or even an old VHS.
Yes.
Just get to the point where we're right at the beginning, so we're past any sort of FBI warnings or advertisements or anything. As soon as we press play, we're going into the movie proper. We will give you a countdown as always, 3, 2, 1, play, and on play we will all play. Unless the two of you have anything you need to add before we start, we're going to get into it.
I think I'm good.
I am good.
Alright, I lost the remote for a minute, but I've got it now.
Nice.
So we are going squarely back to my childhood in the 80s with 1986's Stand By Me.
It's up people standing around.
That's twice now you've stepped on something I was trying to say. The other one is not going to make the podcast because we redid it.
Well,
but
you weren't counting yet when I was talking.
So anyway, here's the official countdown, if Dylan will allow it this time. Welcome to DillCon. Dill says what he wants when he wants.
Yes.
Fuck everybody
don't forget
else.
Everything else.
Then
no one Stand By Me
At one point in time, the show was purely interruptions, pretty much.
Shall we do this now?
Before I was on.
What?
I said that was before I was on.
Actually, you're on the first episode. You walked out and interrupted us.
I've been interrupting you since day one.
Alright, so this is going to be our Stand By Me watch along. For anybody else watching along, here's your countdown. 3, 2, 1, play. And hopefully you have the captions on as we do if you have the ability to do such.
Yeah.
I guess, could you do that on VHS? I'm not sure. I know some movies definitely had subtitles. There may have been a captions option. Sometimes there were alternate languages, I think. Boy, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had to do much on VHS. But I watched this movie on VHS a lot.
I don't have much memory of VHS.
I will say, watching this movie back the other night as we did, you guys for the first time, me for the first time in probably 30 years.
Damn.
One thing I noticed was, I always liked the movie, the performances, the characters, the story, but it is a really well-made movie too. The directing and the editing and the cinematography is all top-notch. It's a really finely crafted picture.
Yeah.
And we're starting out here with grown-up Gordy. Although technically, Richard Dreyfuss is only credited as the writer. So even though it seems like he's grown-up Gordy narrating the story of him and his friends, it is possible that maybe it's at least partly a fictional story that this writer just created. I don't think that's the intent, but the fact that he's simply credited as the writer gives you the opportunity to feel that way. I've never felt that way, and I never even thought about it until watching it last night. But there is that slight possibility. But for all intents and purposes, as far as I know, he's supposed to be grown-up Gordy, who's one of the four main characters of the movie.
Yeah.
I didn't think about this last night, but I thought about it since then. I had a moment like this in my real life. I had a job delivering newspapers, and it was getting to be light outside morning time as I was finishing up, and I happened to glance at the front page that was detailing a fatal auto accident that had happened the night before. And I noticed one of the names was somebody that I knew, somebody that I grew up with. And I had that moment where I just had to stop on the side of the road and deal with it for a minute because I wasn't expecting that.
Damn.
And it's interesting, too, that friend, besides the fact that he was one of the friends who would watch this movie with me over and over, there's another connection between us and the movie that I'm going to get to when the appropriate scene comes up. But yeah, I had my own grown-up Gordy in the car looking at the headline about his friend who he hadn't seen in a while.
I love that car that just
passing
passed.
away. Yeah. 50s, baby.
I love 50s cars.
And here's Will Wheaton as teenage, well, I guess 12. I think is his age in it. Yeah. 12-year-old Gordy LaChance.
Nice.
Got a little chance.
Going to the clubhouse.
Gordy with a chance.
As Rockin' Robin plays in the background. The music in this movie is really great. It's one of those movies where the music works really well in the context of the movie.
Yeah.
But also, I have the soundtrack for it on CD, so I have my original CD, and me and my friends would play it in heavy rotation. Really gave me an appreciation for, late 50s, early 60s music.
Nice.
And there's Corey Feldman playing Teddy Duchamp. Corey Feldman was my favorite actor when I was a kid, and also he's my favorite character in the movie. I tended to gravitate toward the crazy characters and things, and within my circle of friends, I sort of had the reputation of being the crazy one, so I
have so many questions about your childhood all of a sudden.
I can't say I completely related to Teddy and his circumstances. You see his ear right there, how it's all blackened and burned?
Yeah.
I mean, that was always part of the storyline, that Teddy's dad had burned his ear.
Yeah.
But watching this as a kid on VHS, I never noticed the makeup or the prosthetic or whatever they had done to his ear. And I think as the movie goes on, it's less pronounced. They didn't necessarily focus on it as much. But you can really notice it, at least in this early scene. But I never noticed that as a kid. Like I said, I knew that was part of the storyline, but I never saw that actual attempt to make it look deformed. Nice. I mean, it might have played better on the big screen, but this is not one I saw in movie theaters.
He gives me Richie vibes.
You see kids smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's certainly something kids did in the 50s. They did it in my era, too. I don't think you see that. Again, another thing you wouldn't see depicted in modern movies, even of the time.
Yeah.
At this point, people wouldn't want to really focus on that, but it's accurate.
Yeah.
Every kid didn't smoke. Don't get me wrong. I didn't smoke, but I certainly knew plenty of kids that did.
It wasn't uncommon necessarily.
And there's Jerry O'Connell playing Vern, and we missed Chris Chambers, the kid with the white T-shirt. That's River Phoenix. That's Joaquin Phoenix's older brother, who, like his character, Chris Chambers, passed away young. But I don't want to speak out of turn, but I believe River died of a heroin overdose.
Yep.
They're picking on Vern by singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that, Vern.
I don't like how they're so mean to him. Like, I know it's kind of a friendly sort of way.
I mean, he's definitely the most picked on of the group, but I mean, it seems good-natured enough.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's sort of the way young men tended to relate.
Yeah.
I always wondered what game they were playing, this card game they're playing.
I was about to ask you
I know there's such a thing as, like, knock poker, but they're counting up scores of their cards, so I don't know of any kind of poker that plays that way. Not that I know of any kind of poker. And yes, I realize nowadays I could go on the internet and find out in about 2 seconds, but it hadn't occurred to me to look within the last 20 years. And at the time that I was watching the movie regularly, I didn't have the internet.
Nice.
But I have always wondered what game they were playing.
They have a porch similar to ours.
And Vern under the porch looking for the jar of pennies that he buried.
Why'd you bury a jar of pennies?
I mean, it seems odd that he's got all these holes with large gaps in between them. Wouldn't you just start making a big path of holes?
Just one big hole.
Now, between those two kids right there on the porch, which one would you think is Vern's brother? I think the dark-haired one, right? But apparently the blonde is his brother.
Interesting. I would have definitely guessed dark-haired. But okay.
That's a big porch, man. That's a lot of ground to cover.
It is a big porch.
It kind of looks like a porch I'd build in Sims 4, though. Like, with the intentions of it being
I like this shot. I like both the shot of Vern's eyes framed in the lattice there, and then him looking out with the silhouetting around it. Like I said, this I never would have appreciated that as a kid, but as an adult watching it back and as a filmmaker myself, I really appreciate, like I say, the look and the editing of this film and the directing. It's all top notch.
How it's actually positioned, where it's not like just a diamond in the middle, but it's like actually following where his eyes would sort of be positioned. Mm-hmm. I like that. And
also, I said I didn't see this movie in theaters because I was like 6 or 7 when it came. Well, it came out in August. So I was 7 when it came out, which was a little young to go see an R-rated movie. But it's interesting. This movie is rated R, and the big joke is always that movies in the 80s, like PG movies and PG-13 movies, are always much more intense and violent and sexually suggestive than modern movies would be with those ratings, or at least movies in the last few decades. But this is when I feel like, why was this rated R?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe for the language, maybe. I know the thing has always been you can only say fuck once in a movie rated anything under R, so maybe they say, I'm sure they probably say fuck multiple times, and I never took any time to count, and I wasn't thinking about it last night.
I definitely wasn't paying attention to rating stuff.
So I guess that's probably it, but I mean...
I could see it.
There are certainly other movies in the 80s that were like PG-13, you'd be like, I would think that would be R way before this is.
Yeah. I mean... being an 80s movie, I don't know, but today I could see it as a rated R thing, so...
Vern, a metal, you think so? Well, and this does not feel like an R-rated movie.
No.
Does it in the least?
It's like a mild R-rated
feels like
movie.
A PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
No way this is an R-rated movie. I don't care if they say fuck 20 times in it in a fucking R-rated movie.
Fuck.
Skin it, man.
Fuck.
Alright, Lexi, how do you like the fashion of the 50s?
I mean, it's 50s boy fashion, so it's...
Yeah, to be fair, there's like no dominant female characters in it.
Yeah, so it's...
But I don't care, it's what we got, so rate it.
It's okay. I could do with less stripes. Of course, I do like Teddy's shirt.
Honestly, stripes.
He ditches that before they go on their adventure, though.
I do like how there's a good bit of pink. It's red.
Verno.
Whatever color.
Very cool. I used to imitate that a lot. When we do things, that was like one of the things I would like to do.
Nice.
I tended to try to imitate the movies we watched, or a lot of times we'd watch a movie and then I want to form a club afterwards. Like we watch The Monster Squad.
Who doesn't want to form a club after watching a movie?
Dude, we had like a monster hunting club, we had a video game club, and
we had a monster hunting club. Did you ever find Bigfoot?
You and I just made a space school. That's all you and I did.
His
Yeah, he sat around and threw a ball at a wall.
Gordy's dad in this, the hoe job he's doing, he just went back and forth a little bit. Not really sure what he's trying to accomplish there.
I don't think he was trying to accomplish anything.
What do you want me to do? That's this guy.
It's like, have I done enough yet? Can I go? And Gordy goes to his recently deceased brother Denny's room. Denny was played by John Cusack. It's an interesting pride, integrity, guts, I think it said.
I have no idea what it said.
Turned pig into an acronym. It's like a wooden, almost like a cutting board shaped like a pig.
Interesting.
His brother was a football player.
Yes.
Died in a Jeep accident, and now Gordy's pretty much ignored at home.
Sad.
You get a flashback of he and his brother.
That fishing rod.
Yankees cap.
Yep. They're getting ready to go fishing in this flashback.
Wow.
You had and have a Yankees cap, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Technically, I do too.
Hey, this why you got a Yankees cap.
No. This movie takes place in Castle Rock, Oregon, but being based on a Stephen King short story, I think it was probably originally set in Castle Rock, Maine.
No, I think it was Oregon.
Was it really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Most of Stephen King stories are set in the Northeast, so...
He decided to go northwest for one of them.
But either way, the movie is set in Oregon.
Nice.
Yeah.
You see Gordy's dad's not fond of Gordy's friends. He calls him a thief and two Phoebes, but as a kid I always heard a thief and two thieves.
Oh no, I was completely wrong. Yeah, this guy's wrong, man.
Yeah.
You're completely
wrong. Most of Stephen King
I
stuff
just read it wrong.
And I just figured Rob Reiner was like, nah, I'm from Oregon. I'm going to do Castle Rock, Oregon.
Yes, but
I don't know if Rob Reiner was from Oregon, but I know the production company is called Castle Rock.
Nice.
So, and since it's set in Castle Rock, Oregon, I assume maybe that's where Reiner's from, or maybe the screenwriters were from there. But for whatever reason, they chose to reset it in the Northwest.
And the biggest plot change, the year was changed from 1960 to 1959.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at this. Okay,
Yeah.
they're bringing their sleeping bags with them because they're going to be
Those
camping
trucks.
out. Look at how long that sleeping bag is, though, when it's rolled up.
Yeah.
I never get my sleeping bag to do that. It was always like this big, fat Swiss roll, you know?
Yeah.
I couldn't get that nice, loose, long, thin version. Here's something else that would probably be controversial today.
Oh,
Gun.
yeah,
Kids with the
probably.
gun, but they're not looking to do any real mischief with it.
And that gun's important.
And I mean, I don't know, man. I know people are going to make comments about gun culture and how it leads to issues, and I get that, and I'm for gun control and whatnot. But I mean, there was a time when, again, young men and even young women to rear were more comfortable with weapons, you know? And it wasn't the case of, hey, they're going to get it and they're going to go shoot up a school or something. And I'm not making a case for being better or worse. I'm just saying, seeing two kids messing around with the gun in the 50s wouldn't necessarily be as shocking as people think it was today. Or even in my generation, again, I hate to keep making comparisons, but by and large, you know, being a young man in the 80s was not all that different than being a young man in the 50s. Certainly there were massive differences culturally in some degrees, but, you know, a lot of things were still the same. And that wasn't that strange of an idea that, you know, they stole their dad's gun to carry it on the camping trip with them.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's not like a crazy idea.
Nowadays, even if you made a movie about this time, you probably wouldn't show that aspect, you know? And if you did, it would be to make a specific point for a specific reason and not just a plot device like it sort of turns out to be in this.
Yeah.
And even that, it's, you know, it's not a major plot device. It does come into play in the climax of the movie, but...
Yeah.
It also just
it's like they're not trying to make
fits
a
in
point
the story. It's not crazy that, you know...
About the gun, though.
You know, the bad kid with the alcoholic father would take his gun and, oh, here we go, Kiefer Sutherland is Ace, who is totally convincing as a psychotic bully.
Yes.
Sort of like Henry Masters in It, but I think he's even more scary than Henry Masters, because even though it is Masters, right?
I have no idea.
Is it Nick Masters? Well, you know Henry from It, the main bully from It, but whereas he's sort of over the top in his psychoticness, Ace is almost just more subtle and more laid back and menacing.
Nice.
Kiefer Sutherland's also the Vampire David in The Lost Boys, another seminal 80s film.
I was going to say, just him once. All I can say is Lost Boys.
Which Corey Feldman was in as well. And I think that I might have seen Lost Boys first. That might have been the movie that really got me into Corey Feldman. And so then I wanted to go back and see this. If I remember correctly, and again, we're talking over 30 years ago.
Lost Boys was a good movie.
Lost Boys is a great movie.
Yes.
We did a commentary for that in honor of Joel Schumacher when he passed away last year.
Yes.
Which I encourage you to check out. But I think I didn't see either one of them in theaters. Both of them were videotape watches for me.
Nice.
And this is 86, Lost Boys was 87, so it could have been 88 even by the time I saw either one of them. And I could be wrong about the chronology. I could have seen Stand By Me. But they were right in that same era, you know.
Both 80s movies.
But
yes.
Great 80s movies.
Everything is an 80s movie.
I noticed I just realized Gordy's not really carrying a sleeping bag. I guess he's got it rolled up in his backpack somehow, but the other three seem to have that same sort of long, thin
what else does he have in the
sleeping
backpack?
basket. There's Vern's sleeping bag and there's Teddy's. And see how they're all very thin?
Yeah.
Teddy's does the Hawaiian shirt for the more militaristic green.
Yeah.
That's another
One
thing.
sleeping bag is small.
Teddy sort of had, you know, that military vibe going. When I was a kid, I was sort of into the military and stuff. You saw Vern with the comb there.
Look, it's the Power Rangers,
and
but
12-year-olds. Make your friend flinch, you get to punch him twice. That's not something that really survived in my generation. I'm not saying we didn't roughhouse or play rough sometimes or you know, smack your friend or something, but at least my circle of friends I can speak to. I can't necessarily speak to everyone from my generation.
As far as us, I don't think it was really a thing, so.
Yeah, you guys are pussies. I'm just kidding. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Well, they have great Power Ranger
Every
colors.
Gen X.
You got the Red Ranger, the White Ranger, the Green Ranger, and the Blue Ranger.
Did your mother ever have any kids that lived? What do you mean?
Oh, God. Let's go
setting out for an adventure. Look at that shot.
Yes.
This sort of gives me Lord of the Rings vibes, to be honest with you.
Gives
the
me
mountain in the back.
Vibes.
And it's, you know, friends sitting out on a journey across the land, and they're singing the theme song of the TV show Paladin.
Nice.
I sang this when you and I went for a walk on the train tracks, remember? You may not remember. Sometimes when we walked along the train tracks here.
I know of walking on the train tracks. I don't specifically remember that, though.
There's a TV
I
show called
apologize.
Paladin.
Apparently.
I think it was a Western. I never watched. It's like a 50s TV show. I literally only know it because of the reference in this.
Nice. I don't think I've watched much 50s TV.
Gordy's got like the Boy Scout style round canteen. Teddy's got the actual military issue canteen.
Nice.
I have one of those, or I had it anyway. I think we still have it. It was my grandfather's. He was in World War II.
I almost said nice, but then I decided that probably wasn't a statement to say nice to.
And this is the point they realized that they all forgot to bring any sort of food for their overnight trip.
They had it all so perfectly
Don't worry,
planned.
you can just order pizza with the Domino's app.
I brought the comb for you guys.
Dude, as well, if we went from canteens to hydro flasks.
What is a
Canteens
hydro
are
flask?
way cool. I don't know.
Like a name
I had
brand water
you see
bottle,
that,
pretty
that,
much.
that military style belt that Teddy's got that his canteen goes on?
Yeah.
I had one of those.
Nice.
Canteens are cool.
I could put my
Facts.
canteen on it. I had a machete too that clip onto it.
Nice.
Put
And then it turned into a wrestling belt.
red,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
put red Kool-Aid in your
Wait, I
canteen.
just had to say one more. No, go ahead.
Wait, could I make the canteen look like the Kool-Aid Man, though?
No.
Fuck.
But have red Kool-Aid in your canteen. You can be playing with your friends. You could be playing guns or something. You get shot to put the
And this
Kool-Aid
is
on
why
yourself.
walking on
Bam.
train tracks is
Look.
questionable.
And you can drink the
Well,
Kool-Aid.
they had plenty of time to get off. Teddy just wants to be
yeah.
silly and dodge it. I want to say for the record, I never did the train dodge when I was a kid.
Good.
That's very
To be
dumb.
fair, there were no train tracks near where I lived. I couldn't really walk to any train tracks around where
You know,
I
it's
was.
probably just a good thing that you didn't.
I
Because if it had gone wrong, you know.
may or may not have dodged cars in the road like this once or twice.
If only we were on camera right now, because I just started staring at him. I still question your childhood. I have a lot of questions, sir.
I'm not saying we really cut it that close. I do remember maybe once or twice being in the road, like, we're going to dodge cars. And
I mean, I feel as though it's easier for a
pretending
car
we were
to
dodging
stop.
them. But we probably did not
then-
let it get that close, to be fair. And like I
Yeah.
say, there were no railroad tracks near where I lived. We would have had to driven to get to railroad tracks.
There goes the Hogwarts
We didn't
We can
even walk up to the convenience store until I was probably around their age. Because I mean, I was younger than them when this movie came out. So,
Yeah.
but even then, you know, occasionally I always wanted to do that kind of. My friends were like, let's just get a ride or something. It's like, no, let's walk. It's cool. It's like an adventure.
I like walking.
Motorcycles are cool.
I can only walk so far, though.
Where did a
so-
motorcycle come in? I didn't say we were gonna get a ride on a motorcycle.
I would say motorcycles are cool.
I mean, my dad had a motorcycle for a little while.
Wait, he did?
I don't remember riding like around our yard and our neighbor's yard.
I don't remember a truck.
It was long gone before you ever came along.
I mean...
Also, motorcycles are like
Figure.
cars, but there's no protection for you flying off.
I remember one time, like, my neighbors were, the older kids were riding on a dirt bike or something, and I was like, come on, let's show them what a real motorcycle is. And I was like, I was too embarrassed to get on the bike and ride with them at that point.
Sorry.
Because the cool kids were out riding their dirt bike.
All the cool kids.
Little mailbox baseball there.
Did they have leather jackets?
I hope this isn't something you did in your childhood.
Did they have leather jackets and mullets?
Yeah, because when I was 8, we were driving cars.
No, but I guess teenagers.
I didn't start driving until I was 18.
Did the cool kids have mullets?
I don't recall.
Did they have sunglasses?
Why did none of your friends...
I'm just saying the
rock
cool,
them?
like, they're just the older
They
kids
don't
in
seem
there.
very cool right now.
Yeah, because mullets are so fucking cool.
They
A
were.
modern mullet? Mullet? Yes.
Mallet? A modern mallet?
I am the very model of a modern major mallet.
There's like very specific
I'll smack you in the
styles
ground and
of
pat you down just like a
mullets
pallet.
nowadays that I personally absolutely love, so...
Mullets are dumb.
It depends on the mullet.
You know, I found it funny that the boys were always, you know, using slurs for gay men and calling each other pussies and girls and stuff. I always thought Chris's older brother, Eyeball, when he was driving the cars, he always came off a little fey to me.
Nice.
I don't know if that was intentional in the performance or just,
Yeah,
you know,
Who knows?
maybe he was supposed to be in the closet.
maybe. Very much a possibility. I could never climb a fence like that. I can't even
I have climbed
get over the fence that we
plenty
have.
of fences.
I've climbed a fence half that size.
I've climbed a
little bit.
fence with barbed wire at the top of it.
I have questions for you, sir.
Now, the fence
And you, yeah, I've watched you climb over.
that I've climbed, I'm pretty sure in that little, that's like over it or something.
Just just a little triangle diamond.
Yeah,
thing.
those hurt.
And here we
Yeah.
learn of the legend of Chopper. Supposedly, if you're caught by the junkyard owner in his junkyard illegally, he'll sick his dog on you with the command, Chopper, sick balls. One of the classic phrases from the movie.
You're saying that you don't like just the standard triangle thing. Dad just said he climbed over a barbed wire fence thing.
No,
Well, obviously
the
he
fence
took off
was
the
chain
barbed
link. The top of the fence had barbed wire on it.
Clearly, he took off the barbed wire.
No, I just stepped over it.
How do you step over it at the top
I
of the
remember
fence?
You get to the top and you swing your leg over top of it and swing the other leg over top of it.
How do your balls not get
How
bobbed?
do you go over it? Carefully.
How did your balls not get bobbed?
I just remember one time we went to
Was that a really awkward position?
and those cows, and I was trying to do something, and I was next to the fence, which was the barbed wire fence or whatever, and I almost fell into it.
Did you
Damn,
have ball
River's face
padding?
was red there. No, I was just careful.
I see no way I could get a ball. Was it like a little bit of barbed wire?
No, it was like have you ever seen this chain link fence and it has the barbed wire at the top? It's got like posts in between that jut out, and then like 3 strands of barbed wire over them.
How the fuck did you get over that?
Carefully.
Pixar didn't happen.
Dude, that was before. I don't even know if I guess I had a cell phone then because it was after Lexi was born. Yeah, I think so. I think your mother was.
I couldn't have her look in the camera. She was born.
I didn't even have a digital camera at that point, bro.
I have so many questions.
It was expensive.
I'm going to have a lot of questions by the end of this episode.
But the fence in here doesn't have the little triangles on top. It seems like a pole. That would be much better to climb over.
What are you talking about? Those little triangles.
You know how like the diamonds kind of go over?
Yeah.
We have like the little. No, they're not really bars, but they're like the wire twists and has the little fork at the top. Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe.
Sometimes I think.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure what you're getting at.
It's been a minute since I went outside and looked at the fence.
It's been a while since I've climbed over a fence.
It's been a while since I climbed
Last thing I tried
over
to
that
climb,
fence.
other than furniture, was a tree.
Last thing
I broke the damn branch.
Last thing I tried to climb was a little wooden pallet on the side of the porch.
You broke the damn porch. We should stop trying to climb things. This is why we don't climb.
What's the last thing you tried to climb?
Not including furniture.
I thought you were going to say not including my wife.
How the frick would you climb?
No, I'm leaving. I'm just leaving at this
You're
point.
like 10 times her size.
Just leaving.
Durham, North Carolina?
Lol. Every time they kept saying Durham, that's all I could think. And
It
I
was
was thinking, like,
probably
this isn't North
The
Carolina.
last thing you climbed is probably a tree.
I do think we asked him to climb a tree one of the times we went outside.
Verno.
You see, I don't like climbing trees because why the frick would you want to do that?
I mean, it's probably fun.
Come on, baby. Let
Yeah,
the
stand on this
times roll.
debatably sturdy wood 50 feet in the air.
I mean, you don't
Have
have to
fun.
climb 50 feet up. But to just, like, sit in the tree might be fun.
I don't want to climb 10 feet up.
Tree houses seem cool. Except,
If they're sturdy.
I mean, that's the one thing, but the big thing for me is the ladders.
I need 4 metal bars going
I
into
need
the ground
stairs.
from the top of the
It's
tree.
right
house.
there called Gordiamorphidite, which I'm pretty sure is just a bastardization of the word hermaphrodite. That's how it was explained to me. I was like, what's a morphidite? Oh, it's like a person that has both sex organs.
Interesting.
So that was where this is where I learned hermaphrodites from for the first time.
You see, anime lovers know that as a futa.
Nice.
I know that from the internet.
A little general store.
I love general stores.
Look, he only gets 4 Cokes for the whole night.
Yeah.
That looks
And
like
it's interesting. Look,
It does look like food.
I never thought about this when I was a kid because I didn't have any reason to. But he's getting like raw ground beef from the butcher there.
Mhm.
And I'm sure they're gonna make a fire and cook it, but it's like
Yeah.
they're gonna be walking for hours.
not to
in
get
summer.
cereal?
It's the end of the summer.
Yeah.
Just get cereal.
I mean,
I
there's
just
not
saw spam in the background.
there's not gonna be as much, non-perishable food as there would be in modern times. But
Facts.
obviously, there's still canned food there.
Yeah.
the
You still
cereal.
get peanut butter, like there's Spam there. Knee-high, that was a kind of like soda. I don't know if it was really soda, but I know like
Canned food.
Radar in MASH, I was like grape Knee-high.
Nice. canned
never
food
drank
and
it,
stuff like that came into like more popular stuff. FIFTIES?
I honestly don't know, Alex. It was around when I was a kid. That's the
I
best
think
can
it
give
was
you.
wartime. World War II situation stuff.
Gordy's just getting completely ignored. Just want the potatoes, man! The potatoes!
The potatoes!
Mom with the save, even though now, after Jenny's gone, it seems like Mom has no time for Gordy. Did you read the story Gordy wrote? Gordy wrote a story. Really good. Real good. Good story.
What story did
Good
you
story.
write?
I don't know.
Damn.
But Gordy is that sort of prototypical Stephen King stand-in. A lot of times he'll write a protagonist who's a writer.
You always have to
like
put yourself
Bill
in your
in
stories.
Stephen King needs to write stories in Maine with kids, bullies, and the main kid needs to be
Has
a
Stephen
writer.
King written a biography yet?
I don't believe so.
Damn it. That's what he needs to write.
It's interesting the fact this is based on a Stephen King short story. It's based on a Stephen King short story called The Body. And that led to an interesting misunderstanding when I was a kid, because it's not like we paid explicit attention to the credits when we were 8 years old. You just glanced at them, and then the credit said, based on The Body by Stephen King. But all I took in was Body, and Stephen King was like, oh, Stephen King played the body in this. Because I knew Stephen King was a somebody, but I didn't really know who he was.
Yeah.
And it's strange, too, because the body would have a name. It's Ray Brower. Whoever played Ray Brower would be credited as Ray Brower, or the body of Ray Brower, not simply the body. But to me, it's like, oh, Stephen King played the body.
Yeah. Nice.
What do you want? Like I said, I would have been 7 or 8.
Oh
Yeah.
no. It's a guy.
Oh, my friends are abandoning me. Oh.
Oh, that sucks. I'll say, oh fuck.
Still, 50s sucks.
Yeah. They're still
Why?
pretty popular now.
Are they?
You don't think so?
I mean, I
It seems
think...
like a lot of, car guys like the
I mean,
style
yeah.
trucks.
I didn't
I
have
guess
sick balls from
that.
Sick'em Boy.
Because that's what you're expecting to hear. Chopper. Sick balls.
Lol.
No, I want more fall.
And
Cute little
no
doggy.
Rottweiler, no pit bull, just looks like a golden retriever maybe.
Yeah.
He's
That's what it
adorable.
looks like.
I just want to play.
Yeah. I love that dog. Just wants to play.
Does buy Teddy's shirt though.
True. Looked like it took a bit of it. But I like the little dog. What?
No, it was just
Oh. Teddy has... I don't know. I was trying to say something about him being hyper and all that. But then I kind of lost my train of thought.
You know, why is it the one with the glasses?
It's always the one with the glasses.
As well, Stephen King has like 5 cats.
it's like even there his ear doesn't look the
Yeah.
makeup whatever doesn't look nearly as pronounced.
Stephen King just changes some details around.
In Stephen King books, you have the self-insert writer kid person.
Hold on, I always like this delivery. Loony. That's one of those deliveries that's like, I don't know if it's really good or really bad, but it's really memorable.
Yeah. And you always have the crazy kid in glasses.
If this is based on Stephen King's group
I
of
just want
friends.
to know. I want to know either what friends did Stephen King have as a kid, what kid with glasses did whatever to seem so crazy to Stephen King.
Richie's not really crazy in it though. He's just the funny guy.
Yeah.
That's a distinction. There's a difference between being crazy and
Okay, he's
Not
not,
always, but-
exactly crazy. He's a bit over the top.
Richie is the best character, right, though.
Facts.
That's just a fact.
Yeah, big facts.
Better than Bill, better than Pennywise.
Teddy's raging at him, the jumper screaming, and the other guys we're just casually walking away. We're done with this now.
Reasonable.
You guys should. You ain't coming after us.
How
We
heavy
need to get on
do
with our
those
business.
sleeping bags are?
Not heavy.
Not too heavy.
Probably as heavy as a big
I'm
blanket.
not really fond of sleeping
Like
bags.
a blanket rolled up. I
Hey,
just
big
always
blankets can be
like that. The dimension of the sleeping bags always got to me. Like they seem so long. My sleeping bag was a lot shorter than that when it was rolled up. It was a big fat roll.
Maybe
You know?
something changed about
I
sleeping
want,
This is
bags.
not
I want
very
a sleeping
comfortable.
bag like that. When I had to go on school trips and stuff, and we take a sleeping bag with us occasionally.
Yeah.
I wanted that kind of sleeping bag, not that big chunky swish roll.
Once it looks like a thin blanket.
I'm
So look
curious.
how thin
Teddy's.
it is.
Look at Teddy's, the
Yeah.
green one.
One, they
Yeah.
do look really thin. Two.
Not that one.
Okay, I can see a zipper, so it is rolled. like I would.
That one is
roll
big.
one. So sitting here with how long
It's
they
relatively
are.
big, but you've seen like our brown sleeping bag, haven't you? I mean, it's a chunky boy.
They have a sleeping bag?
Yeah.
I used to have a troll's sleeping bag.
Right here when Vern just wilts.
Lol.
And then after that, like, I'm sorry, guys.
What you mean a sleeping bag? It's hard to get comfy in them.
I always like my sleeping bag a lot.
The closest thing
Sometimes I
that...
just use it as a blanket.
I mean, yeah, that's cool, but like if you actually
Or I'll use it
sleeping
as a
in
sleeping
the
bag just on my bed.
bag.
Especially if my friends were spending the night. So a lot of times we'd have the sleeping bag and just lay them on the bed together.
Nice.
I have like a sports blanket.
Yeah,
that
maybe
has
going to
zip
see a
up.
dead body shouldn't
It
be
may-
a party.
I think it was a sleeping
Yeah,
bag.
it may be a sleeping bag. I never use a sleeping bag.
No.
Oh, it's a blanket.
My thing though is,
I
with
can
the
add
sleeping bag,
fits inside of
you,
it.
you're supposed to sleep in it and everything. But I'm the person who likes to take the blanket and like really wrap myself up.
But my little sports sleeping bag blanket thing, and it has a hole in it. It's like a little orange.
It's got like the orange lining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, it's, of course, the more blankety part. There's a hole in between the two, and I can just fit in between the two. At this point,
Nice.
that's how you use a sleeping bag. Just go inside of it.
Alright, here we go. See right here where they're using the razor blade to sort of cut this little cobra's tattoo into their arms.
Why?
Yeah.
The friend I was talking about at the beginning of the movie who I found out had passed away, the newspaper, we
Yeah.
tried to do something like this, but we didn't have razor blades. We tried to just do it with a nail, and we didn't have much success.
I'm glad you didn't have success.
I think then, hold on. Hold on. Keep yourself in delivery here. You need to get yourself a Protestant. Wait. Oh, okay. Now this is something, he says a Jew's good. He's talking about a Catholic girlfriend, a Protestant girlfriend, and a Jew. I always thought he was saying choose good. Like you should choose good choosing between a Protestant. But regardless, that's another one of those lines where it's always stuck with me, even though obviously I misheard it. It's like, I don't know if it's really good delivery, really bad delivery, but it's fucking memorable.
Yeah.
But was that at least a new nail?
Oh no, it was a fucking nail.
I just hope it wasn't a
It wasn't
rusty
very
nail.
sharp. We didn't really
I
even
hope it
break
wasn't
the
a
skin.
rusty nail.
And then I think he ended up going home and doing a little more to himself, and then he like got in trouble and had to go get a tetanus shot and stuff.
Reasonable?
So was it a rusty nail?
No, I think it was just an unused nail. We got out of the tool drawer or whatever, but...
No. An assumed unused nail.
Ace, if either of you assholes had $2,000, I'd kill you both, and you totally believe he would.
Yes.
That's what kind of a psychopathic asshole he is.
100%.
That's a long steering wheel.
I'll say that scene of them doing the razor blade stuff, that would get a
That how long
content
steering
warning
wheels are on
nowadays.
tractors?
Lollipop, lollipop,
That
oh,
long
lolly,
steering wheels
lolly,
on
lolly,
tractors? I've never been on a
lollipop,
tractor.
lollipop. Yeah, you can have steering wheels like that on a tractor.
That's a long...
Isn't there a picture of me on a tractor?
You think they just fucking fabricated? We don't like the length of the steering wheel. We better make one with I need a longer steering wheel.
So like, this
Rob,
thing
we can't get a longer steering. I don't care. I need that long steering wheel.
I want to be 70 feet back.
I was meathead, goddammit. If I want a long steering wheel, I'll get a long steering wheel.
I want to drive the train from the back of it. That's how long I want my steering wheel to be.
Thought it was a tractor.
Yes.
It is.
A train.
He wants it to be as long as a train.
The tractor isn't the size of a train, though.
But he wants it to be. That's how long he
That's
wants
how
his
much
steering
foam
wheel
they
back.
have to deal with?
That's how far back his steering wheel needs to be.
Isn't there a mod for Stardew Valley to get tractors or something?
Yes, what do tractors even do?
I don't
These
know.
are
What do
farm
tractors
cars.
I think they, like... I don't know.
do?
Oh, these are golf carts.
in
for
Total Life
farms.
Well-
They could pull, like, the tiller and stuff to, like,
Yeah, I was
till
going
the
to
field
say,
before you compare it to plant stuff.
in Total Life Farm,
But they may have
something?
they may have uses beyond that as well.
Yeah.
They may you may be able to pull like a harvester behind you and actually get the crops up. I didn't grow up on a farm. I didn't use a lot of farm equipment.
I was trying to say, in Total Life World, in the farm game and stuff, there is a tractor, and it has, like, attachments. And, like, this could be a game thing, so that's why I don't really know. But it has, like, attachments, and one, like, prepares the ground to plant the things, and the other one kind of harvests things, so...
Yeah.
Are you telling me farmers mod their tractors? You think farmers talk to each other like, oh yeah, my
Everybody
tractor's
mods
got the
things.
best mods.
Like the tractor itself is just the driving force. You use stuff attached to it, you know?
My tractor
Wait a
has the
minute, wait a
new
minute,
plant
wait a minute,
harvester
guys.
9005.
We need to discuss this. Could Mighty Mouse beat up Superman?
I haven't seen my mouse, but probably not.
I don't...
Teddy's logic, it couldn't happen because Mighty Mouse is a cartoon and Superman is a real guy.
Superman is not a real guy.
Who would like to break the news?
Superman is a card.
We need an epic rap battle of history, Mighty Mouse versus Superman.
I don't know, what are Mighty Mouse's powers?
Stand by
remember
me,
what the
trick.
last one
He
is that
flies.
Does he have like super strength, super durability?
Yeah, he's definitely got super strength. I haven't.
What's the biggest feat we see him do?
It's been longer since I've seen Mighty Mouse than it has been since I've seen this movie, notwithstanding last night's viewing of it.
Superman is the second strongest Justice League member.
Here
Next to
I
Flash.
come to save the day. Mighty Mouse is on his way. I liked Mighty Mouse when I was a kid.
Flash
I liked
is
Underdog
way
even
too
more,
old
but I liked
for
Mighty Mouse a lot.
Nice.
Flash
This says tractors are used to pull a variety of farm things for plowing, planting, cultivating, fertilizing, and harvesting. And
Can
of
it
course
kill
can be-
animals?
If you hit one, I bet.
You know, I took
I don't
college
think
courses
tractors
when
go
I
that
took
fast.
college courses when I was in school. Getting back to the movie.
Uh-huh.
I always wanted to take a shop class, but none of the schools I went to had a shop class.
I'm sorry.
Well, my generation, it wasn't like, oh, stupid kids go to shop. It's just like, hey, you get to build shit out of wood and that seems awesome.
That does seem awesome.
I think if you hit like a cow with a tractor, it might just fall down.
Okay, I'm trying to
Take
focus.
some
I'm trying to
energy.
focus on the movie. You guys just
No, I was laughing because he said,
Going
I don't
off
think
the
tractors go that
rails.
fast. But
I say
one
as
of
we look at the train tracks.
yes, one of the things listed was also, of course, transportation and stuff, and I was just sitting here like, that would be really slow.
That's a
though.
Buddy Holly song kind of right there.
Well,
Nice.
Buddy Holly than wanting
Buddy
with
Holly, who
whatever
died
he
in the same
died.
plane crash as Richie Valens, as depicted in the movie La Bamba, another seminal 80s movie.
Yes.
For me, and in fact, La Bamba inspired me to write my first ever movie.
Nice. That would be a little terrifying to me.
Oh, I would love that.
I'll just go across the water.
See, I'm not scared of heights like Dylan is,
I am scared of heights.
but I think I have a little more
of
fear than you
trains.
do. I question this guy's sense of I have forgotten the word I need, but like existence and
So what,
stuff.
so what
Sense
river
of
is this?
mortality?
They're trying to
I have
get
no
to.
idea.
They're trying to get to the Royal River. This
Yes.
clearly is not the Royal River.
Obvious.
I mean, I realize you could cross the river in multiple places depending on how it
True.
bends and curves, but they seem to indicate that they're still far away from the Royal River, so this must be another river. But I don't think they name it. That bugs me. I want to know what river this is.
I'm sorry.
Okay, there's a masturbation joke coming up here that I did not get when I was a kid. I'll be on the other side, waiting for you, relaxing with my thoughts. Do you use your left hand or your right hand for that? I did not get that joke at all
Reasonable.
when I was a kid.
Besides, I'll just swim across the wall.
No, you would. How would you even get down to the water? You have
It's-
no idea how
it's a
deep it is or
slope.
what the current is like.
What? Yeah, I
And
was
they don't
going to
wanna be
ask about how
soaking wet.
it's moving. Like,
Current, I can fight it.
I do feel like it seems.
that's up
I
to
do
me.
feel like it takes them an inordinately. Fuck, I can't say it.
Yeah.
An inordinately long amount of time to get across this bridge. I realize it's relatively long, but it seems like they're on it for a long time in the scope of the movie.
Yeah, a little bit. But you're talking about the water and stuff, and I'm sitting here like, what about how it's moving and
Oh, no.
stuff? Because
Oh, no.
we've
A big moment's coming up, y'all.
That'd be
we've
me
been
going
next
across the bridge.
to
Yeah, Vern.
what river
No,
is it?
We have to give tribute to this, though. Something big's fixing to happen here. And here it comes.
Is
Oh
the
my
Logos
goodness.
Express?
There goes the comb.
The amount
Oh.
of effort that
comb
that
is gone.
seemed to take.
Yeah, we didn't mention the comb at first.
I
I
comb.
don't think.
Look, just
I
the
think that
defeat
did.
in Vern's face there is
Yeah.
crazy. Now, what were you saying about a river?
The river we see up north.
The
Is that
Mississippi
Delaware?
River?
No.
Are you talking about when we go to New Jersey?
Yes, up north.
The Delaware River,
Yeah. That you know what that river is moving like. I just naturally assume that one's moving similarly. And I would not want to go into the Delaware River.
Look, I'm just built different. Okay, I'll get across. I'm built different.
No, you're not.
yeah.
Yes,
You're
Yeah.
still human. Also, I was
Stay on
trying
the tracks for vibration.
Chug, 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 chug. That's what the tracks are saying.
And I was like, "This shit. Oh, there's the smoke. Oh shit."
Yep.
Oh,
See this
shit.
moment
I'd
right
be
here when he stands up and
terrified,
screams. One time I did this on the playground at school. I was at the very back of the playground, and we had a really large playground.
Uh-huh.
District, and I just was like, "Train!" And nobody really seemed to notice, and I just sat back down and went on with myself. I still had to do it once.
I'm so sorry.
Now this scene, nowadays when I see Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the film version, I always think of this scene when Harry and Ron are in the car and they dip down and they're like right in front of the train and Harry almost
Reasonable.
falls out of the car and all that nonsense.
You know, I'm sure I could fit on the train. I'm small enough.
Yeah, no.
I'm built different.
Do y'all just not have a sense of your own existence, your own mortality?
I just feel like I could have made it across that bridge long before the train got there.
Yeah, I feel like they won't really care
like they
that they're on train tracks.
I feel as though I don't want to die.
I didn't say I wanted to die either.
Risk it.
I just think as long as I couldn't see a train, I could have made it across those tracks, no problem.
Yeah, I'd still be wanting...
I'm not encouraging anybody to do the same. I'm speaking simply for myself.
To be honest, as soon as we're on that bridge, I'd be trying one to the other side. I don't care about the gaps. They're probably not big enough for my
and then that jump there.
feet to fall in.
Good thing it was a short train, though. Or else they would have been standing there for a while like, okay, hold our friends, okay, hold our friends,
Right.
okay.
Friends probably just dying.
I've stopped at some long trains before. I'm just saying, trying to cross the train tracks in a car. Or in
Yeah.
a school bus and just sit there. And the train stops and then it moves backwards. And then it goes, and it's like, come on.
I love getting stuck by a train, though.
At least we know when the next train was due now. Dom, 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 dom.
I feel like we need flying
dom,
trains.
Dom, 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 dom. Like in Back to the Future 3.
Yes.
You see, they've made that.
All trains will be above roads.
Yeah, I know they're going to make a fight. It never occurred to me at the time they're just buying all around beef and they're going to be carrying around in their backpacks for 4 hours. And we don't see them cook it. They're cooking marshmallows now.
When did you get
It's interesting.
marshmallows?
He says they should
Fact.
check Vern's jockeys for Hershey squirts, but Vern's wearing boxers. We find out later.
Interesting.
When did you get marshmallows?
Well, he bought them at the store.
I didn't say I'm buying marshmallows.
They
I
didn't
said I'm buying bread, Coca-Cola, and beef.
I don't necessarily think we saw everything he bought.
But they still say you should have bought cereal. Do you know how much of that you get?
You got to be able to carry it with you.
How much do you like? Wait,
It's
do you
a box
eat roasted
cereal.
marshmallows?
You can even get away with the
I
box.
did
Take
when
the
I was
bag.
younger. I
How-
don't really
how
like
roasted do
marshmallows
you
at all now. I don't know. Just browned a little bit, not super dark.
What about you and
As I
roasting a
recall.
marshmallow? How do you like them?
I'm not even sure the last time I roasted a marshmallow.
I didn't say you had to roast it. Just how dark do
I'm
you like
not
your
even sure
marshmallow?
the last time I had a
Honestly.
roasted marshmallow.
I'm with you on the just lightly brown.
Now, like a hot dog cooked over fire, I like pretty dark.
Yeah,
I
I know Mom likes to catch marshmallows on fire.
Here's one of the. Well, that's
say that like-
kind of how you cook one. You get it burned and then just how quickly you blow
Yeah.
it out.
You say that like
I hold
watch
mine
them all
above the
burn.
fire and just go slow with it.
This is why some people just like to watch the marshmallows burn.
that reminds me of a game.
The cake game on the Switch?
Yes.
I thought you were gonna say pie face.
No.
Here's one of the most memorable moments of this movie. Gordy's story that he tells the boys that we get to see played out.
It is weird.
Yeah. Like, I didn't even... I was just like, and then you're like, yeah,
It's
it.
interesting though. He says that this character, who's nicknamed Lardass, he's like their age, so about 12. He weighs like 180 pounds. I was probably close to that when I was 12, and I was
I just
chunky,
want
but I
to
was
say-
not. I was not as big as the Lardass character, and I'm not impugning him in any way. I'm not coming down on him, but I'm just saying physically he looks taller than I was and way wider. So I'm saying Gordy's sense of scale is probably a little off.
I just want to
Well,
say,
they know
hashtag insulted.
Well, you know, there's a rejected Stephen King short story.
Because I mean, I was probably
The rate was too low.
Stephen
It's
King
on
didn't need
hold.
to get a short story in. And I was like, you won't let me use the short story? Fine, I'll make it for another short story. Go back.
who's gonna not let him though? I mean, he writes when
His
he wants.
editor.
Publishers.
Publisher, whatever.
I mean, if you've ever read it, you know Stephen King had a large degree of autonomy over what he wanted to write.
Facts.
Stephen King
I
writes
think
some words,
especially... I mean, Stephen King, he can just kind of write whatever at this point.
This little bit right here, I always try to replicate it when the radio DJ comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do Shawshank commentary?
From the racks and sacks is the best on wax. Have another double golden only sound spin sandwich from... I can't do it all, but I used to try to do it when I was a kid.
Did we do
Nice.
a Shawshank commentary?
No.
We
We
haven't.
We should. That's a good movie.
I keep trying to find my copy of the script so we could do the Mario Shank Redemption
Oh,
or
boy.
whatever.
It's good.
That would be something.
I personally like it better than
Wax and
this.
Sacks is the best on wax. How about another double golden oldie twin spin sound sandwich from KLAM in Portland? It's Boss! And there's Davey Hogan, a.k.a. Lardass, getting tripped up by the butthurt 4-time pie contest winner. That guy looks like an older, fatter Giovanni Ribisi. Not Lardass, the guy in the crowd they cut to. It's not, because Giovanni Ribisi would have been like 12 when this movie came out. But, so unless he time traveled.
I'm saying, if that's supposed to be 180, I have questions.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think the scale is off a little bit.
Yeah. I'm over
Very
180
much.
and I'm not that big.
Exactly.
And I mean, they say he's supposed to be like 12, but he's pretty tall.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's just a case of Stephen King and or the script writers not knowing what they're talking about, or just the idea that Gordy wouldn't really have any idea what's really,
So.
that large.
Lizzie couldn't find a good actor.
You guys want to do a pie eating contest like this?
Nah.
No. I don't like most pie.
I don't like... I like apple pie.
Yeah.
I just mean like hands behind your back, just digging your face in.
Cheesecake is pretty much pie. So
How do you decide when you're
saying-
done? 'Cause he basically
Yeah, that's
he had
what
a
I
little
was
bit of the
gonna
middle, but-
ask. Like, what determines when you're done?
I mean,
When
I
you
clearly
say
don't
done.
expect you to eat every single last morsel of every pie.
I mean,
You're done when you
yeah,
say you're
but
done.
If rating is based on
I
how
guess you're
many
pretty much just
you
eating
eat,
the filling out.
guess.
I mean, it's good enough. The judges are taking it.
Yeah,
Or
but
the officiators or the old man with the flags, whatever you want to call him. That guy right there, he looks like Giovanni Ribisi.
To be honest, the champion doesn't... The guy or whatever doesn't seem like he's eating that much or that fast.
Not compared to Hogan, at least.
It's like you think the champion would be fast.
brother? When lard ass eats pies all over you.
Well,
Now we start finding about Davey Hogan's plan for revenge.
yeah.
He's drinking castor oil, which is like something people would drink to make themselves. I think I don't know. Maybe it was something parents gave their kids to help keep them regular, or maybe it was a something like ipecac syrup that would help you vomit if you needed to, if you drank poison or something. It has some. It used to be believed to have some medical purpose, but I'm saying the bottle he pulls out. A, it looks like a liquor bottle. B, it just has this little label that just says castor oil, nothing else.
It makes
No
me
brand,
think.
nothing else. It looks so much like a movie prop.
I mean, yeah, but the bottle itself makes me think of the olive oil that we have.
Why I say I think it might have
detail
it might have been like
itself.
it could have been like a laxative or something that would help induce vomiting if you needed it, or it could have just been something people thought had some sort of medicinal aid to children back in the 50s. I know of it in historical context. I don't know of it ever having experienced it.
Nice.
But so it was something to that effect. But obviously, drinking a whole bottle of any sort of oil will kind of make you feel nauseous.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, is Davey Hogan's end game.
Nice. I couldn't find any information on pie eating.
I'm saying everybody just stops. They could just keep eating pies. Like, what does it matter to them?
Facts.
The other guy didn't care enough. He wanted to trip him and berate him, and now he's just like, oh, I'm just going to watch.
Feels though there's a lot of build up for a second. And then I don't like how that looks.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously coming from like a pump or something beside his face, but it's not bad.
It's not terrible, it's just questionable.
Yeah, it could have been done a little better, but obviously the idea is not to sit there and focus on the technical aspect of it. The only thing that bothers me is when everybody's puking up blueberries, and only people who ate the pie should be puking up blueberries.
Yeah.
Like, literally every bit of vomit you see.
I hate all the
blueberry
vomiting,
vomit.
personally. Makes me
That lady barfed in her
uncomfortable.
purse. The Donnelly twins barfed on each other. And the women's auxiliary barfed all over the benevolent order of antelopes.
Who did they buff all over?
I don't know, but they deserved it. They were like, boom, ba, ba, boom, ba, ba, boom. And David was walking up.
Does he have a blueberry
He got
in his
blueberry
ear?
in his ear. Yeah, he does. You know, I'm
Look,
just saying, he
there's not
left
a
a
lot
lot
of
to
that
chance,
blueberry.
though. To think that he could even make himself barf on command, the fact that he could set off a wave of vomiting.
Facts.
Saying it wasn't a very well thought out plan.
No, not at all. But it's a story written by a 12-year-old.
No, I get it. It's fiction. I'm just saying. If we're going to take the time to overanalyze it.
Yeah.
What you looking up over there, Dylan?
I was looking up what Shawshank Redemption is based on.
A Stephen King short story called Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption.
Ah.
You didn't realize that?
No.
I'm sorry. Yeah, two of my favorite movies of all time are based on Stephen King short stories.
Yeah, that's well, I know
Dad
it's based
very
on Stephen
much like
King's
Stephen
short story,
King.
but I didn't know the name of it.
I like Stephen King short stories. They're turned into longer movies. And it's pretty good.
It just don't want a short story.
Facts.
No, that's for sure. It's the longest book I've ever read.
Damn.
I like Vern's concern there. Did Lawrence have to pay to get in the contest? And as soon as Gordy clears it up, he's like, oh, I'm all good now. It's one of those things that would be bugging. Like, I really liked it, but there's this one thing that's just bugging me about it. I just gotta know. And if I can get that answered, everything's good.
Yeah.
E.
The only other Stephen King book I've ever read is 11/22/63, which is a really good book for like 3/4 of it, and then just shits the bed the last quarter of it.
Sorry, I don't think I've ever read Stephen King.
I've read it 11/22/63, and I've seen both the TV version and the recent theatrical versions of it, and I've seen, of course, Stand By Me and Rita Hayworth, or just The Shawshank Redemption.
Nice.
There's another Stephen. I kind of wanted to see The Dark Tower. I heard it was kind of shitty, but I still kind of wanted to see it, and I'd like to read the book series.
Nice.
And then there's another Stephen King movie called The Green Mile, which was based on. It was actually a series that he released them in serial, like a couple chapters worth in each book. It was a series of books, but it was more like one really long book, just broken up into smaller versions, sort of Lord of the Rings style, but condensed even more. Not condensed, but like each book I think was just very short, like 100 pages. I'm guessing, but I'm saying it's like if it were released instead of being 1,200 pages, it were 200 page books.
Yeah.
No, 1,200 books,
yes.
1 page each.
Yes.
But that was turned into a movie adaptation with Tom Hanks and Michael Clark Duncan, and it looked pretty good. I know a lot of people really like it, but I've always been sort of like, I don't know. It looks kind of Shawshankish, but more supernatural, and I don't know. But a lot of Stephen King stuff is more horror centric, like Cujo and Carrie,
and that's why I haven't
Pet Sematary
or watched much Stephen King stuff.
Now I've seen the TV versions of The Stand and The Shining too, and I like The Stand a lot, except I thought the ending was kind of weak, which is sort of a Stephen King cliche at this point, and he even sort of poked a little fun at it with Teddy telling Gordy. It was a good story, Gordy. I just didn't like the ending. So even back in '86, you can see somebody poking a little fun at that.
Yeah.
Apparently, Castle Rock has a lot of freaking Stephen King stories taking place in it.
Yes, I know that.
I did not know that.
That's why I said that.
Lol.
Wait, said what?
That's why I was like, it's being a Stephen King story. It probably took place in Castle Rock, Maine, but they switched it to Oregon for whatever reason. Castle Rock is one of Stephen King's touchstones.
I thought you were referring to Maine.
I do have to say, they decided that they're going to keep watch here with the pistol. And for the most part, I get it, but I'm not sure I would let Vern have the pistol.
Yeah.
45s go off pretty easily. He's pretty jumpy.
Yeah.
I think at least one of those boys might have gotten shot accidentally by Vern.
I wouldn't 100% trust Teddy, and I definitely wouldn't trust Vern.
Oh, I would trust Teddy. Teddy's not going to shoot his friends. He's loyal. And he's not...
Unless something happens.
Vern's just jumpy.
Yeah.
That's the only concern. I don't think any of these guys are going to turn on their friends. It's just that Vern's really jumpy. Because you see when he's got the gun, he's like...
Yeah.
Every which way swinging.
That's why I said I definitely wouldn't trust Vern.
Teddy's crazy, but he's not that kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just his kind of crazy does have to lower his trust a little bit. Sorry. I mean, technically, I wouldn't 100% trust it. I have no
I would trust him with the gun.
Any of them with a gun.
Because he lost the comb, so that ain't the comb.
Facts.
If that's the comb, we got a continuity error.
Big facts.
I will be right back again. Yeah.
You're leaving us?
I'll be right back.
Okay. I was going to say earlier when y'all were discussing Oregon, Maine, etc., that there's a Monster High series of books that I really like, and it's set in Oregon.
Salem.
I think so.
Even though the Salem Witch Trials would have been Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah, they actually discussed that. That's actually part of the plot of why they are where they are and whatnot. But anyway, I was going to say that because I think maybe it was last year. Somewhat recently, though, there's apparently a line of collector Monster High dolls. Because, of course, Monster High itself isn't really a thing anymore. But they make one of, like, a female Pennywise character.
Gordy's having a nightmare here about his brother's funeral.
Yeah.
His dad's going to lean over to him and say, should have been you, Gordy. I don't know if his dad really... I don't know if the idea is supposed to be his dad really said that or Gordy's just feeling that way.
Yeah.
But that always sort of resonated with me.
I'm sorry?
I assume it's probably a... No, I'm just... Not personally, but I'm just saying, like, I felt for him feeling that way, and I was like, wow. I just think it really... within the context of the film, really makes you feel for Gordy and makes you understand how he's been feeling since his brother died.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like I said, I think the indication is just that Gordy was just having a nightmare. It's just his subconscious, but at times you wonder maybe his dad really did say that to him.
It's possible. It is definitely a possibility.
This is a big bonding scene between Gordy and Chris.
I like the relationship.
Yeah.
I kind of like with this movie how, you do get the shot of the newspaper and whatnot at the beginning, and then you get all this.
Uh-huh.
So it's like you're watching this and you're enjoying it, but one of them ends up dead.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Well, we all end up dead eventually.
Yes, very much facts.
In the book, more than one ends up dead.
What?
Apparently in the novella, Teddy and Vern both die untimely deaths as well.
Yeah.
I question Stephen King.
How do I feel about Gordy being barefoot there?
I have questions as to why.
I think, especially in this case, when you're just camping out on your way to somewhere, I'm probably sleeping in my shoes.
Yeah. I definitely would. Especially since clearly they're scared that there could be something. So I'd probably just want shoes in case I'm leaving,
Yeah.
And the production company for Shawshank Redemption is Castle Rock Entertainment.
That's the production company for this too, is it not?
Oh,
This might have been. Well, Castle Rock is Rob Reiner's production company, and Rob Reiner directed this film. But this might be before Castle Rock was really a thing. He might have come after this because this would be '86. So.
When was Shawshank?
What?
When was Shawshank?
Shawshank was 95, 94.
Nice.
Yeah, the first Castle Rock thing is Winter People in '89.
Nice. What seemed to happen in '89?
Castle Rock is the production company that produced the sitcom Seinfeld.
Nice.
Huh.
What else did they make?
Oh, I don't know. They had the rights to Good Will Hunting, but then they didn't do anything with it. Then it ended up with Miramax. I mean, I think A Few Good Men is a Castle Rock production. Mr. Saturday Night, I think, was Castle Rock. I just don't know. You just have to look it up.
Good thing I always have handy dandy Google on my
Does
hand.
it really matter?
Yes, because now I'm curious.
And here's the story. We find out a little more about the milk money that Gordy's dad referenced Chris stealing. Chris admits, hell yeah, I took it. You all knew I took it. But he suggested he might have tried to give it back, and that the school lady he gave it to just kept it for herself, knowing that nobody would, believe Chris if he tried to say he gave it back.
Yeah.
Never really sure if the truth is that Chris gave it back, or he's just saying that, but...
Well, so I found a Wikipedia with lists of Castle Rock Entertainment films.
Yes, that's what I saw.
Oh, nice. Also in '89 was When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, it's another Rob Reiner film.
Nice. And then we've got the '90s, which brings Lord of the Flies. I'm not going to read all of these. There's a lot. Like a lot.
30 years almost at this point.
Yeah.
More than 30 years at this point.
Little Big League.
Let's see, hold
Dracula.
on. Little Big League
Dead
was a good
Loving
movie.
Nice.
I remember the movie Dracula Dead and Loving. I don't know if I actually saw it.
Lone Star.
Nah. Was City Slickers a Castle Rock production?
Give me a year for it.
The first City Slickers would have been like 91. And the sequel would have been a couple years later.
When we get back to 91, yes.
Yeah, I know it's a Rob Reiner film. I think.
Yep, and the sequel.
The first one was more well received. I actually like the second one better.
Nice to know. I like
But
that
that's just me.
sunrise.
Yeah, this is a real major moment in the film to me. Just a quiet moment, but something that sticks with you. Gordy's out there reading his comic book, got the gun with him, and then a deer pops out.
I honestly, when we were watching this the other night, I thought he was going to kill the deer.
Why would he do that? He's like a bad guy.
They have no food with them.
They're not. What are they going to kill? What are they going to skin it with? And cut it off?
Well, if you
Just
grab
gonna- just
the
gonna
leg,
bite
you
into
might
it
be
raw?
able to tear it.
And this is their journey's almost done. They're only planning it to be an overnight trip anyway.
True.
I can't believe y'all. What is wrong with y'all in the way y'all been raised that y'all thought that was going to happen? It's this wonderful, tender moment where you just
look, it's
close to nature for a moment.
In this time, the boys and a wood.
What does that mean? Set in this time, like in the 50s, everybody was a savage.
There's like the middle of nowhere. There's a gun. It's Stephen King. I had every reason to think.
You know, I
bet
it'd be a lot faster if they just jumped on the train.
What are they eating here?
I don't know. I thought maybe they found.
Vern's kind of obsessed with Pez in this. I had no fucking idea what Pez was when I saw this, even though I had been eating it my whole life. I did not know that little candy in the dispenser was called Pez at that point.
What do you think the dispensers were called?
Like
candy dispensers?
I would have. When this came out, I was 7. When I saw it, I was probably 8. It is leaking.
That's bad.
But yeah, no, I did not know when they were talking about Pez. I'm like, what's Pez, y'all? I don't know if any of my friends knew it either. Like, we ate the candy, but I didn't know it was called Pez.
Okay, now I just have questions about the 80s.
But still, they should have just jumped on the train. I know, it even says
Pez on the packages.
Yeah, very much.
This would be a lot faster if they jumped on the train.
You're going to jump on a moving train.
Yes.
I know it's not impossible, but come on. It's certainly
this is not the Avengers.
Okay, Teddy's crazy enough to do it.
MCU.
Teddy would do it.
Teddy probably would do it. Your cat Teddy would probably also do it.
I would have gone for the woods too.
So my cat Teddy jumps on her head. Frick.
Imagine if you had like a little train that ran around and you just like jumped off you onto it.
I just see your paw waving goodbye.
Those woods don't look all that thick from here. So, it looks like a line of trees. Look.
I mean, yeah, from this angle.
That's probably the Photoshop then.
I like that shot where you can see the river.
Kangaroo Jack.
Hey, it's pool. I saw pool earlier. Like a pool sign. I've never played pool.
Questions?
I'm sorry.
Hey, look, they're fishing.
They are fishing.
By the way, I'm still looking at the list of the things.
Nice.
This big, enormous secret that Billy and Charlie were keeping. They finally spilled it to the rest of the gang.
Yeah.
You like Ace's shirt?
Yes.
I figured you would.
I like button-ups. That's that.
I do think Billy and Charlie are a little overcautious here. Like, they're going to, we shouldn't go. We're going to be fast. Like, I think y'all are overrating it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Ace's plan seems pretty solid, to be honest with you.
Nice.
I like Ace's hairstyle.
Yeah.
I wore my hair like that a bit in the 80s and 90s.
Nice too.
I like Ace's. Okay. You stayed in position clearly. Now I'll stay at mine. Get in the fucking car now.
Lol.
It's a shame y'all are all afraid of Ace, because there's a whole lot more of y'all than him. But
facts. But he
got that menace.
He has established his dominance in that friend group.
Ugh, yeah.
Established dominance. T-pose on him.
Right here, Vern. He gets Teddy.
Yes.
But he doesn't take advantage of it quickly enough, and Teddy turns it around on him.
Yep.
Poor Vern.
Yeah. He definitely gets picked on quite a bit.
Get back, Dad.
He's gonna have his. He's gonna get his in a minute, though.
That sleeping bag just looks huge.
Do what?
That sleeping bag just looks huge.
It looks small to me. It's just long.
Well, being long and with the way it's rolled up.
Teddy's is almost more just like a blanket.
Yeah. But with the fact that it's long, and I saw the zipper earlier, meaning it is rolled like the top to bottom, like because of the way the zipper looked or whatever. Mm-hmm. And what's called so it seems like it's wide.
Maybe sleeping bags used to be wider. I don't know.
I don't know. I need to find
this
like a 1950s sleeping bag.
I like how it pokes the right next to
yeah.
It's like that. Of course, everyone. They go gradually down most times.
Most times. Sometimes it will be that it's like shallow and then just drops, a straight drop.
You go into a pool, you take the stairs down. It's not just diving boards.
It's not a TikTok. It was somebody coming down on another TikTok. Because the original TikTok was coming down on men using stairs and stuff like that.
A TikTok coming down on a TikTok that was coming down on something else.
Yeah.
Oh man, TikTok coming down, man. Oh man, TikTok coming down. TikTok. Oh man, TikTok coming down. Something.
Teddy's line there, I'll only be young and crazy once. I definitely use that line more than once.
Nice.
Man, all that is so surprising. I've never seen any of that on TikTok before.
I'm sure you have. You're on the too good side of TikTok.
For the most part.
You're on never mind.
But see, just a little later in my life, I feel more like Gordy, where I'm like, everybody's fucking around. I'm done. I'm good.
That's the move.
For the most part, on the side of TikTok that reasonably comes down other TikToks.
I feel as though the one I just described was reasonable.
I just want to say.
I mean, yeah, definitely. But you said I was on the too good side of TikTok.
Yeah.
It's like reasonably going down is good.
Okay, y'all think leeches really attach that quickly?
I've
never
dealt with leeches.
I mean, look at that. They're just covered in them already.
I've never dealt with leeches, so. Do you have any leech experience that you would like to share?
Nope. Never even seen one in real life.
Okay.
But see, Vern's wearing boxers there.
Nice.
I just think it's interesting that Gordy calls him out and says he should check his jockeys for shit stains, and he's not even wearing jockeys, he's wearing boxers. Although technically jockey is a brand of underwear as well. I'm not sure if it was in the 50s.
I have no idea. I apologize, but I have not studied undergarments of the 50s.
Oof, this is a tough scene.
How did elites even get in there?
I don't know.
Same way they get into any of your clothes?
I mean, shorts are normally kind of loose-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know, like Teddy's was tucked in.
So was his, I'm pretty sure.
So I'm saying, yeah. Like, just, no. I do not want to find a leech in my underwear.
I don't think I want to find one at all.
I do have a problem here, though. He faints. When you faint, you fall forward.
Do you know?
That's what I've heard. I don't have any personal experience with it.
I was going to say, what experiences do you have?
Well, it kind of depend on which way you're more balanced towards.
That's what I would get.
Like, if I'm laying to the right, I'm going to fall to the right, probably.
I've always heard... No, I've just heard that when you faint, you fall forward.
I feel like that's a myth.
It could be a myth. It could just be something your body does. Like, as you're fainting, it kind of adjusts. You just adjust.
Falling forward would be the worst way to fall.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, you might break an arm falling sideways, I guess.
I mean, technically, it would probably depend on what's next to you. Because technically, if you have a table or something next to you and you fall sideways, you could do some damage.
Or you could land on the table.
What if it's like a glass table? Just through the table.
Oh, God. You won't be fainted
I love Chris's suggestion there. Maybe we should take Gordy back. They're literally almost there. It's like, let's just take him back. Then we'll redo all this without... I mean, seriously?
Yeah.
They look awfully dry, awfully quick.
It's a movie.
Yeah, I know how long it's been.
Here we go. Vern's finally had enough. Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, it's daytime still. And they still have a ways to go to get in the
So
body.
it's like 8 hours to daytime.
It's also summer, isn't it?
They got like 8 hours of light.
It is daylight longer in the summer. That's like the only good thing.
Look, that's fair.
It probably won't be like I don't know, a little bit to dry off. Like an hour or two, probably, maybe.
To be fair, those clothes are way too dry.
And it is summertime, so it's...
You don't know what they're made of.
Well, the jeans are made out of denim. The t-shirts are probably cotton.
Those are fine silk t-shirts.
Okay, so is silk more likely to dry fast or less likely to dry fast?
I have no idea.
There you go. Good call.
It's likely to be less
in
wet.
The trash. Oh, you don't get no spinning
I like
cash.
the blue car.
Yakety yak. Yeah, the blue car is definitely in nicer shape.
I like old cars.
And here you get to see a little more of the Psycho and Ace.
Facts.
Where a friendly race turns into a game of chicken between Ace and a logging truck.
I'm faced with the logging truck would destroy him and continue driving.
So you think the guy driving the logging truck just wants to commit murder?
No.
I think he's trying to say...
hurt himself.
I think he's trying to say that that truck is capable.
Plus, you gotta understand, older cars like that, they're not like, really thin. They're heavy steel cars. They were a lot more sturdy back then than cars are now.
Everything costs more, but it's cheaper quality.
To be fair, the truck probably is too, but...
That's why not
is this what I'm learning?
That's why it's not like a couple of those logs fall on the road. I guess they're very sturdily on.
I was gonna say, I assume they're probably somewhat secured.
Oh, one. And he's drinking and driving too.
Yeah.
True villainy.
The villain of the movie is drinking and driving.
I buy Kiefer Sutherland as a psycho in this. He plays it well.
Yes, he does.
Between this and Lost Boys, he's probably one of my favorite villains in the 80s.
Facts.
Why are the branches hanging over the train
like
tracks?
he's an 80s villain without a ponytail.
Okay.
You're an 80s villain without a ponytail.
I think he has like a rat. Doesn't he have like a rat tail in Lost Boys? Or am I completely crazy? He's got like a mullet in Lost Boys, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's got longer hair in Lost Boys, definitely.
He's got
I'm just saying,
But to be fair, this isn't the 80s, this is the 50s.
True.
He's not playing an 80s character. It's
True.
an 80s movie, it's a 50s villain.
True.
You see a lot of ponytails in the 50s, not on dudes.
No, definitely not.
And
How
here
many
it
mullets?
is. They found the body.
Who could...
Wow.
Why?
I mean...
How would they even want to see it?
This was pretty dark.
The dumb
for me as a
kids.
kid.
Facts?
That's why they'd want to say bye. The
Not
dumb
gonna lie,
kids.
if I knew there was a dead body when I was there, I probably would have gone to see it.
I would have probably stayed as far away as possible.
Look, I never noticed. I always knew he was knocked out of his shoes, but you could actually see one of his shoes in the branches on that other shot. I always knew you could see that Browder doesn't have his shoes on.
Uh-huh.
It's got some flannel on for you.
Actually, it's fine. He doesn't.
But you can
look
actually see
that
one of his
damaged.
shoes sitting in the branches above him.
He doesn't look that damaged.
Like, that's another
Actually, it's
thing
fine.
I never noticed until we were watching it last night.
Nice.
I don't think he's fine. He's not moving.
No fucking shit.
You know, in the end, they decide not to take the body back. They just place a phone call. But could you imagine having to carry that body all the way back?
Facts.
I know they're going to try to make a stretcher or something to lighten the load, but
Yeah.
Could you imagine see four kids
it's
carrying a dead
it's
body?
one thing just going to see a body. It's another thing carrying the damn thing with you.
Yeah. Big time. If they were to carry it back and then, like, somebody else saw them, you know? It's like, that
Yeah,
just
I mean, to
wasn't
be
a
fair,
smart
they're pretty
plan.
much off the radar for most of this walk. They weren't around a lot of civilization.
True.
The kids disappear for a day and have them come back with a
Especially
dead
since they
body.
were on the tracks.
This scene right here, if this were a modern movie, if it didn't go as far as them kissing, there'd be 1,000 memes about them kissing.
You know, I knew they wouldn't do it because it's an 80s
I was
movie
already
about the
memeing it.
50s, but I was sitting here like, yeah, they should totally kiss.
Especially once he puts his arm around him. And I mean, like I say, nowadays, that's all anybody would talk about with this scene. They wouldn't just appreciate it for what it is. They'd have to be like, it should go further. We have to take it further.
It's like, either I'd enjoy it as
And
if
this
I would want
is to go even further beyond.
Like, I can accept the scene just like this, but at the same time, I'm not going to complain about the kissing.
And then my accurate representation of Super Saiyan 3 Goku transforming into Super Saiyan 3. Except for Super Saiyan 3 Goku is like a man and a half longer.
He didn't have eyebrows.
Yeah. But seriously, that scene is long when he transforms into Super Saiyan 3. It's like 2 minutes of just screaming.
Originally, it was just going to be a whole episode of him screaming.
They had to
Why
cut it
isn't
down.
it?
Although the Dragon Ball Z Kai version is. There's still 2 minutes of screaming.
Yeah.
Lots of screaming.
That's
So
Dragon
this
Ball.
look right here,
Uh-huh.
you know everybody would make a meme out of that.
Probably.
This would be if this movie came out this year, this would be everybody's ship right now.
Yeah.
They can't just let two friends have a tender moment.
Like, they could. But in this very specific situation, they wouldn't.
You know, Chris's completely uncaring older brother and Ace show up.
Yep. Who calls dibs on a dead body?
I never even heard of dibs before. This is like the first time I ever heard of dibs.
Nice.
It wasn't really common slang in the 80s.
Nice to know. So it was like a thing before you and then after you.
I guess.
You just skipped right over
Either that or I
you.
was just too young to have recognized it, but I don't really ever remember hearing dibs that much in my childhood.
Nice.
He just called his brother son of a whore.
I don't think he's the brightest of them. For numerous reasons.
He's a ones off.
Yeah. Fern's out of there.
Ha, coward.
Not surprising.
I'm sure you could take him. You guys are
I like his the all black and then the button up.
I love the fact that Teddy's going all in on the mocking here.
I'm pretty sure Teddy has no fear and lacks a sense of his own mortality.
To be fair, he's not. Chris is the last one standing though. Teddy breaks out in a minute here too.
True.
Yeah.
I wonder why all these guys think they're going to be so lauded just for finding this body. Is that really such a big thing? Oh, you found the body. Good job. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, thanks. Here's a coupon for a 10-piece chicken McNugget.
Switchblade.
I mean, maybe families appreciate it.
Chris's brother takes him out. Come on, Ace. Okay,
chicken
whatever.
McNugget.
So no problem killing the kid.
I know, right?
But then there's a gun. It's
Good
always a
thing
gun.
Chris brought it.
Death by 5 times or 6. Well, I don't know the full line.
This gun holds more than 6 bullets.
Yeah, that's the atomic
How much
reference.
does it hold?
Probably like 12.
I mean, I guess it depends on the exact make, but it probably holds at least 9. One in the chamber, so it probably holds at least 10.
Nice.
But revolvers kind of look cool sometimes.
Really, I've never been a fan of revolvers.
No, go
And
on.
unless we're doing a western, I don't like revolvers.
Who doesn't
I
like
hate
a western?
revolvers.
Revolvers are pretty cool.
Yeah. I never thought aesthetically they were very pleasing.
It kind of depends on the gun.
I'm going to have to say
Glock
it does depend. It depends on what you're going for.
Even that line, suck my fat one, kind of went over my head a little bit. Hey,
So kiss fat
I
what?
love this line here. You gonna kill us all? No, Ace. Just you.
And
Hey,
then
yeah, you
probably be
kinda
arrested
deserve
for
that.
murder and stuff.
Ace deserved it. He should have just shot him. If this was a
Well, my
modern
old
movie,
head
if this was a
was
modern
not-
movie, he probably would have shot him. Either that, or he would have been like, "Y'all get out of here." Oh, and I want my Yankees cap back too.
Yeah, now
You're saying a
I'm gonna get
movie.
Yankees cap.
So I'm going to have to say that's very, very much a thing.
Oh, and also apparently in the book.
Series,
But
it would be up for debate.
But in the '80s, they had a little more restraint. That one kid had a pretty big knife on his belt. I just noticed. The guy who was driving the other car, pretty good sized Bowie knife on his belt.
Nice.
Also apparently in the books, it's described how the bullies beat the shit out of them later.
Reasonable.
But I don't think that.
I mean, reasonable in
described
terms of
movie.
bullies.
Reasonable in terms of bullies. I don't think anything's reasonable when it comes to bullies.
No, I'm trying to say I don't think it's reasonable to beat the shit out of some kids.
I'm sure
But
about
seeing
that.
these characters, I could see those characters doing it. And yes, I am very much sure.
Having
about
spent
it.
like 5 minutes explaining why it's unreasonable to beating up kids.
I do not support beating up children.
You know, they make an anonymous phone call about the body, but they leave the blanket here with their fingerprints on it.
Facts. They very much do.
Seems like it would at least make them persons of suspect.
I guess.
People of interest.
Yeah.
Persons
How did
of
he die?
interest. Got hit by the train.
He doesn't look that damaged for being hit by a train. Did we find never got hit by a train, but
That's for sure. I don't think you'd be sitting here right now if you had.
trains go fast.
I mean,
That's a lot of force, because force equals mass times acceleration.
You don't know how fast the train was going at the time.
true.
But, I mean...
It was
like me.
taking a
I mean,
walk.
he was pretty... His face was messed up. He was knocked out of his shoes. You have no idea what kind of internal damage he had.
True.
It's all extra. It doesn't look that bad.
You could look fine on the outside and be dead on the inside, so...
I mean, yeah, but...
And now it's just... Everything's changed.
The day for Labor Day. Been gone 2 days. This line right here, saying the town seems small and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pointing that out because I just finally finished watching 13 Reasons Why, and towards the end of the series, the main character Clay and whatnot, they say that.
Why are you
after
watching
everything.
13 Reasons Why?
I like the show, but also I've noticed that there's a lot of things kind of in
Why are you
common
watching Stranger Things with us instead? Stranger Things is pretty much a Stephen King story.
Now, sort of, here's a... a bittersweet time. The friends separate here, and you learn they kind of started to go their separate ways after this.
Yeah.
Particularly Gordy and Chris, and then Teddy and Vern.
Found a penny.
Found a penny.
Yay!
No, found his jaw.
I'll finally add it to his jaw when he finds it.
Wait, does he ever find it? That's what I need to know.
I don't think it's ever described in the book.
Damn it, has Stephen King...
I mean, I haven't read the book. I only read the Wikipedia page, but...
They sort of parodied this in the Clerks cartoon.
Uh-huh.
I think the episode where they got stuck in the freezer and they did like a clip show, even though it was on their second episode. At the end of it, they did a little parody of this bit.
Nice.
With the friends heading off and Gordy's voiceover.
Nice. There goes.
I just randomly Googled the whole pennies thing, and the very first thing that popped up, I didn't even look to see what it was, because I was trying to Google something else, and now I've forgotten what that something else was. But it says, no, he never finds pennies.
Yeah, see, it says, eventually Teddy and Vern just became two more faces in the halls.
Yeah.
It's rough. They seem so close in this, and then just within the years, like, they're moving on. I mean, I guess that happens in life, but...
Yeah.
Sad.
Not exactly a happy ending.
No,
not that happy a movie.
Thing. No.
It's 4 kids going to find a dead body.
True.
Very,
but it's also about a special time in their lives. I mean, Gordy, adult Gordy, or the writer even says so. Says as much, you know. How he never really had friends like he did when he was 12.
You're saying that Stranger Things is pretty much a Stephen King story. Isn't the dude who plays the dude I like in Stranger Things, doesn't he play Richie?
Richie?
Yeah.
Doesn't the dude who played the dude play the dude?
Look, Dad knew what I meant.
I know, it's like, you tell about describing things.
That's why I have y'all. I say it the best way I can think, and y'all understand and then explain.
I know in the voiceover, and of course from the opening we find out that Chris has passed away. At the time of Gordy telling the story, but it's a little weird to me that you see him fade away as he walks away from Gordy here.
He fades away.
Yeah, watch. But I'm saying it's just weird that they did it with him, but not with Teddy and Vern, because they sort of moved out of his life as well.
Yeah, I guess he was just.
I know the fact. Well, I mean, he also is. He's deceased now, but at the time he didn't die. He was there. He didn't just get sucked up into the ether. That's like the one error in the film. He should have just turned the corner and disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Or behind a bush or something. The fact that he fades away is a little odd to me.
Nice.
Microsoft Word has really advanced.
I'm pretty sure that's a Mac. It might be an IBM.
Microsoft Word has really advanced since then.
I was gonna ask what he was writing on. I love those lamps right there. You see that classic lamp?
Uh-huh.
I don't know why, but I really like them.
They just call
and
me
I
weird.
really don't like various pieces of green.
Probably makes him happy because his friend Chris called him weird too. You mentioned that in the story.
Yeah.
Or assuming everything we see.
Oh, now look at the camera.
He's wearing some flannel.
Although I hadn't seen him in more than 10 years, I know I'll miss him forever.
That makes me sad.
I never had any friends later on like the ones I had when I was 12.
And that's
more than 10 years.
Does anyone? I think that should have been voiced over too. I mean, it's neat that it's on the screen. It's classy, but I think he should have read it out.
Kind of finished.
And that's pretty much Bill at the end of it.
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities between this and it.
What kind of friends did you have when you were 12?
Friends. We try to cut the wood covers into our arm with a nail.
Dylan, you and I didn't really have any friends when we were 12, did we?
I had you.
I guess I turned 12 in 6th grade, so I had those friends.
You had like a couple friends.
I had the weirdos who sat in the back of math class.
I swear half the time they were just our neighbours.
Oh yeah, we were friends with them a bit. I don't remember specific ages.
I remember I had a Superman old toy laptop.
Yeah.
I don't think it works anymore.
I don't think you have it anymore.
I think it's somewhere in this house.
Okay.
So there we go. That was 1986 to Stand By Me. Legitimately my favorite movie from when I was a kid. And something that I probably have not watched in 30 years, but going back and watching it now, I appreciate it just as much. What a fantastic movie. Great story, great characters, great performances, and a really technically well-made movie as well.
Yes.
Like I say, not an upper exactly, but not a downer exactly either. Just sort of is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
Bittersweet is not inappropriate, but...
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Fantastic.
It's pretty good.
Really happy to take a look at it again on its 35th anniversary.
Yes.
Glad you guys got to watch it with me and then talk along as the credits begin to roll in earnest here.
Yes.
Oh my god, is it the song?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why did they call this Stand By Me?
Because it was a good title.
These are really like the song.
It's appropriate.
Facts.
Especially when you think about the relationship between Gordy and Chris.
Facts.
If not the four friends all together. I like the fact that you know, the junk owner and the store owner and most of the two gangs get credit, and then the mayor. None of the other people in the pie eating contest or anything. Then we get into the main credits.
Oh, Chopper was played by Popeye.
Yes.
Indeed.
Nice.
His friend Jason Naylor, the friend I was talking about, was Jason Taylor. That's a bit of irony there.
Nice.
All right, so I mean, we don't need to sit through the whole credits. There's no post-credit scene. This isn't an event.
It's not. The Bidens sit up at the end.
Oh God.
There's not like Iron Teddy at the end or anything.
That's how this is Stephen King. The post-credit is the body coming up, and then you go into some other thing.
A sequel like 17 years later.
Romeo DeSantis Jr. Is that the relative of the governor of Florida now? Yeah, no, I like the guy. It's just a funny comment. God.
Painter, Stand By Painter.
Do what, dude?
There's Painter and then the Stand By Painter.
Yeah, that is Stand By Painter.
So in case like his wrist breaks.
I wonder what was painted in the movie. Maybe
The backgrounds.
Probably.
Not many. Most of them
all
look
those trees were fake.
Really?
Dylan doesn't trust the trees.
A lot of it looked like location shooting to me. I mean, the only thing I really know... I mean, like...
That's a lot of stunt people.
Clearly one of the scenes with the train was, you know, it was layered.
Yeah.
Why did he need so many stunt things?
I don't know. I mean,
you had like 4 kids climb a fence.
Well, the train jump definitely needed stunt people.
Yeah. Anything else?
Maybe for the driving scene with the chicken scene.
Probably.
You know, Stand By Me, Mr. Lee, Rockin' Robin, Great Balls of Fire, Ran All the Way Home. I mean, just classic 50s, maybe early 60s songs. I'm not sure if they're all quite time period specific, but
yeah,
every day.
Somehow when watching and actually doing the main commentary, I somehow missed it when the Lollipop was playing, and there's that one moment with Teddy and Vern, I think.
Where they do the little shuffle.
Yeah, I was sitting there like, that's a little... But okay. It's cute,
it's cute.
Yeah.
And then they do the little... with their finger in their mouth.
Yeah.
Short credits.
Yeah.
You don't have a ton of CGI and shit.
Pretty much.
Credits don't have to be super long.
True. They seem to go on
that really
forever
stands
now.
out as being relatively short compared to what we're used to now.
Very much.
I mean,
Between that and
like
some things give you their credits in like 3 or 4 different languages.
I love it.
Well, I'm not even talking about that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just saying even just modern credits out. There's a lot of stuff to be mentioned there. This is just like we're in and we're out and we're good.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, fantastic film. I loved it when I was a kid. Having seen it again for the first time in probably 3 decades, I love it just as much. I think it's fantastic. Well worth checking out if you never have. I'm glad you guys watched it with me. I'm glad with this commentary on it on this 35th anniversary and what would have been my father's birthday. Next week, we're hoping to come back with the Tin Cup commentary that we'd originally promised last week.
The Armadillo movie.
Yeah, so that should be what we come back with, but we'll definitely be back with a new episode one way or another next week. And until then, when the conversation continues, I am and will continue to be Maddie.
Lexi.
Dylan.
And this is LexiCon Concluded.
Bye.
You can stop the show now. Go,
Dylan,
click, pause, click it, pause, stop,